This video is about life experience. And oftentimes we will look at somebody that's much older. I'm 54 at this moment. And you can look at somebody 20 years old and you're like, oh, well, I've got this life experience. Well, guess what? In the grand scheme of things, whether you think the earth is 15,000 years old or 15 billion years old, we are here for a very short time. Now, if you're dealing with depression, don't let this put pressure on you, okay? And you know, what I'm saying is, for the experience that you have, like you could be 70 years old and dealing with your son who's 54, or some other scenario, and the life experience, the younger person could be in a better situation because of the situations they were in during their life. Meaning that a 70-year-old and a 20-year-old are actually a lot closer in maturity than you think. We all are dealing with issues. I've mentioned before in past videos about 1 to 5. There's lots of opinions on it. My opinion is 1 to 5 is the hardwiring time period of your life. From the very first spank, when you're up floating around in this little womb, you're hearing muffled sounds outside, you know, 3rd trimester, everything's nice, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're out there, somebody's got you, they're grabbing your feet, they're slapping your butt, and you're crying. Bingo, trauma. Trauma. Who wants to get born? So what I'm saying is that we all have traumas. We all have parents that are flawed. We are flawed. There is no perfect person walking on this earth at this time. So when we're dealing with an issue at 3 years old, and let's just say you weren't taken care of in the crib, or you cried a lot and nobody changed your diaper, or something like that. Believe it or not, you could be 70 years old dealing with issues from 3 years old. Hardwired tapes. I'm not saying you can't get better from these experiences you had from 1 to 5. Some experiences have been absolutely horrific for some children, and it's not appropriate to even get into the details on that in this video. But I'm saying we've all been 1 to 5, unless you're, of course, 4 or 3. But we've all been hardwired to deal with what we deal with. Part of the advantage of having your parents being alive at the time of this video, my parents are both with me, thank God. You get to see a mirror of you. And oftentimes, some of the people that make you the most angry are people that have your traits, and you're blind to it. You don't see it. You're dealing with hardwiring. I call it hardwiring. So whether you're 70 or you're 17, you guys could have men and women could have the same issues or different issues, but we're all dealing with it till we die. Don't let that be a sad thought. The good news is you can become aware of it. You can look into your history. Some people have done hypnosis and those type of things when they don't have their parents. Other people have talked to siblings or long lost family members. Adoption, and with 23andMe and all these different Ancestry.com, all of these sites are now interconnecting us genetically through DNA. And I've got another video on that and racism and DNA and why we can't be racist. But that again is another thought. Sorry. We all have our issues. We all have to deal with them in the way we deal with them. Many ignore their issues, and others tend to delve in and deal with them. In my opinion, if you deal with them, you'll become a better person. You'll be more uplifted when you can understand the way you think. So we have to step outside of ourselves, evaluate ourselves, ask people that are close to us what they see, and start to look inward, because ultimately What's the only thing we can control, guys? If you've been watching all the videos, you know the answer to that question. If this video is new to you, it's your thoughts. And you'll always see me going back to that. That's the basic only control mechanism, only control you have is your own thoughts. So whether you're 70 or you're 16, we all have big babies inside of us that are reacting to when we were children, when we were infants. And we will get better as we become more aware of how we perceive things. And it's another video, Perception is Reality. I hope you guys are staying warm. I hope you're with a loved one. And if you're not, as I said before, this is just a season. You will get better. If I can do it, you can do it. Thank you guys, and have a good one.